Hello, ladies and lords. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. What do we want to do today? Today, we want to be evil, as we usually are with this series. It's the Kaizen Evil series, but the intent is to become less evil and more towards the good side with every passing day. These are the Tarkir cards. Let's just get rid of that toughness 1 creature right now. That's tougher than 3. And for only 3 mana, they already got something with toughness 4. And I am doing a lot of drawing of land. What does this do? Different colors? They choose Jeskai. They deal damage, they draw a card. Let's just throw you back up. Do a little damage. It wouldn't have done me good to blow this up because they would have just gone to get an island anyway. Seriously, Arena? 8 lands and 4 spells. We're not winning this. Not unless it gives me a very specific card right now. That is not... That's 9. That's 9 lands. You know, sometimes Arena just wants to show off their new expansion. So, you know, enjoy these new cards if you haven't seen them. Here's Jeskai Shrine Keeper. 3/3 flyer. There's also a Tarkir card, Wild Ride. +3 in haste. All new cards. Got me down to 1. And look, it's land. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lands and 4 spells. I'm keeping this. This is our opening. My opponent is so much more skillful than I am. He's leaving it in. He's leaving it in. Oh. Alright. He was so merciful. I don't know if he has any way to stop this or not. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and get rid of this. I didn't know that was an emote. I like that. I like my opponent. They got a good sense of humor. And they showed me mercy for a turn and I killed all their creatures. Never mind, they're back. What do we want to get rid of? All the creatures, I guess? Bulk up doesn't really help us here. This has double strike, so all I can do is block for a turn. At most. it takes is one lightning bolt. Run! Oh, twin bolts. Alright. The new expansion is so awesome. We just have no chance. We'll go in and show you our deck anyway. I know that's a different opening than usual, but it's not every day that I get flooded out with 11 lands and 5 spells for the entire match or whatever that was. Okay, we are doing a mill deck. I burned some wild cards, so I hope you appreciate this. I only had 2 Mind Skinners. 10-1 from Duskmourn. It's a legendary nightmare. It can't be blocked. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. So if we hit you, you lose 10 cards. We're teaming it up with some interesting cards, such as Bulk Up, where we double the power and make it a 21, 20 power that is, and 1 toughness, and mill you for 20 cards at a time. And we've also got something like Twinferno. The bottom choice is target creature gains double strike. So if we have a Bulk Up and a Twinferno, we can hit you twice with 20 power and mill you for 40 cards in a single turn. Everything would have to line up perfectly for that, of course. That will never happen. I also burned, turns out I had 0 Teresian Mindbreakers, so I burned 4 wild cards just to get 4 of those. Brothers War, I've been playing this game the entire time, never had a single one of these. I think 4 is too many to have in a deck unless you've really built around them specifically. So I just have 3. I feel like that's enough. It's got Unearth, so if you can't get it out for 7 mana, maybe it just gets up in your graveyard somehow anyway. And you can pay 4 and bring it up for just that 1 turn. You'd have to exile it at the beginning of the next end step. But when it attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded up. So that's another little bit of mill, and of course 2 Realm Breakers that we can mill 3 cards at a time and get their lands, 1 land at a time that comes into our side of the battlefield tapped. What else do we have? We have some board wipes. These are the small board wipe, Brotherhood's End. Again, burned 2 wild cards to get this up to 4 because I'd been managing for just the last year or so with just 2 Brotherhood's Ends. I decided, you know what, I've got most of my Brotherhood, most of the Brothers War collection, but I'm missing, multiple copies of certain cards. So I went on a spending spree with my wild cards today. We've got 1 Tectonic Hazard to get rid of the 1-drops. We've got 4 of the Saiba Cryptomancers. This is Flash, Backup 1, and Hexproof. So they're a 0/1 creature. I can bring them in on the opponent's turn if I need to. And the Backup 1 means that I can take their abilities and give them to some other creature for the turn that they enter. Which means if I've got a Mind Skinner out and they try and remove it, I can put Hexproof on it at flash speed. So that's kind of cool. I've got 2 Bitter Reunions. When this enchantment enters, you may discard a card. If you do, you draw 2 cards. This is a good way to get rid of your Teresian Mindbreakers if you don't think you'll be able to afford the full cost. And then for 1, you can sacrifice the enchantment, and creatures gain haste. So that can be a nice little surprise if you set this up and then put a Mind Skinner on the field once they're tapped out and can't do anything about it because they can't block it. We got 4 of the Bulk Ups to double their power, and you can flash that back for 6 mana each time. We've got 1 Scorching Shot in case they have a really tough creature. We've got Slick Sequence, deals still damage to any target. If you cast another spell, you draw a card. And we've got 1 Aetherize, so that if there's a horde of creatures attacking, I can return them to the owner's hand. More backup. Featureless Scald. It's a 3/2. If the backup doesn't go onto another creature, it'll come in as a 4/3 and be a 4/3 double striker. It's kind of a good backup in case the mill strategy's not working out. Like if I lose all my Mind Skinners, but I'm still in the game. But you can also, if you've got a Mind Skinner out, you can bring this in and give double strike to the Mind Skinner this way, as opposed to Twinferno. We've got 1 more big board wipe with 1 copy of Temporal Firestorm. If we can afford the blue kicker cost, we can actually phase out one of our creatures and save them. We've got 1 Twin Flame Tyrant. 5 to get the dragon. This is a mythic rare from Foundation's expansion. Of course it's got flying because it's a dragon. It's only a 3/5, but if a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, deals double. So it's basically like double strike, right? And again, we're looking at our Mind Skinner milling 20 cards instead of 10 at a shot. And since we're red, and red has some problems with things like enchantments, We might get this out, Invasion of Ravnica for 5. When the siege enters, exile target non-land permanent, and opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. We don't really have a whole lot that we'd be looking to convert the battle. We're just looking to use it mostly as a 5-cost removal spell. But we do have Pit of Offerings to get rid of things in their graveyard. We've got 1 Demolition Field to take out their special land. And we do have in here 1 Restless Spire so that we could go ahead and attack and scry one ourselves if we need to. That's the idea. Let's go ahead and try this again. And hopefully we can have a match where we don't get dealt quite so many lands in a row. There was a comment on one of my... I got a notification. The comment was not on the YouTube page by the time I went to it. So, like, they were going to... I think they posted it and deleted it really quick. But it was to the tune of saying, like, the gameplay is terrible. This might actually be worth watching if you didn't complain so much. So, I just thought I would take the opportunity, even though they didn't leave that comment up. And it was gone so fast I don't think anybody saw it. But newer players should know that I do naturally have a sarcastic wit, so I lean into that when I'm airing my recordings. But it is a bit of a character that I play. And especially for this series, this is the Kaizen Evil series, where we are intentionally making very evil-type decks. And so if there's ever a place where I can be ruthless and behave in a poor fashion, it would be during this series. So, but just keep in mind, it's all an act, okay? It's all just having fun, and it's always a gamble. Do I take 4 extra damage and wait for another creature that's valid to eliminate? I think we just take those out for now. Hey, they're milling. That kind of helps me, right? Alright, so this is a risk, but I have 2 of them, so if they've got a quick removal card, we'll get that out of the way, right? In the next turn, we have a way to protect our second Mind Skinner. So maybe we can lull them on how much they can do. Alright. Here we go. We be done. We wait and see. Do they have another one of these? They have another removal. We have hexproof. Life is good. Yeah, baby. 44 cards. Yeah, you can't block either. Ooh, we have another Cybo. I was going to bring down the Fearless Scald, but let's just go ahead and hit him for 11. They've got some stuff in the graveyard that I don't like. This is an instant, so we could get card draw next turn as well. I've got a very small clock here. Well, let's try this. Attack for 12 double strike. It's 24. 12 at a time. Ah, they had the removal. What are the odds? Only 7 cards left, and they had the removal. This has double strike, so we can at least take that out easy enough. And then we'll bring this puppy down. Bring this puppy down. Get another card. When it dies, they mill 2 cards. Yes. I don't need to attack, right? They've got 5 cards, and we've got Realm Breaker out. So we just need to survive in case they have more removal. And why did my entire screen just freeze? There we go. There's another removal card. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and block here. That doesn't matter. Your life total doesn't matter. It's my life total that matters. Okay, so we go ahead and mill you there. We go ahead and get one of their lands. That's a lot of lands. It's all basic swamps though, right? So it didn't really matter which one. And then we keep the Cybo Cryptomancer as a last second block to keep us alive. 1 damage to any target. We go down to 5. Down to 1. Pass the turn. We win with 1 life point. They have more life than they started out with. Doesn't matter. Your life doesn't matter. That's the purpose of these evil decks, to reinforce that your life doesn't matter. Mill decks can be that way. You're down to 1 life point, and that's how you win. It can also be very frustrating when you're on the opposite side of that, and you see that your opponent is down to 1 life, and somehow they still manage to mill you out, and you're so sure that you had them killed. You had them dead to rights. Everything's gone. This is why mill can be considered in the lower depths of the evil decks that you can create in Magic the Gathering. There have been times where mill has been so strong that you play a single mill card and some people just scoop. Not as bad as discard or pure counterspell. Some people just will not play against counterspells. I've had a number of decks where I only have 1 or 2 counterspells in the entire deck. Let's see, whenever it attacks, create. I guess we have to get rid of that now. It's kind of too bad. They could have just another replacement easy enough. Yeah, we're not going to wait on the lands. We'll play the land now. If you had a resurrection spell, it's not going to help you there. They've got all of their Mardu colors. This is going to start to feel like Streets of New Capenna. I claim there was a Streets of New Capenna rule. Whenever the opponent played 3 colors, they got all 3 colors in their opening 3 draws. And I wonder if Arena's going back to that kind of attitude. Yeah, I guess we'll take that. It's as good as any card, right? But we're seeing it happen right now. So we may be back to that age. What do you think they're going to do? I choose Mardu. And I guess we're doing this. They might have removal. That gives us another turn. they're thinking. Mobilize 1. It doesn't count. You sacrificed the creature. You got down to 0 creatures. That's all they're going to do. They still had a big chance. They had this 2/4 that could attack me with extra stuff every turn. They still had at least a 5-turn clock as far as they knew of. But, yeah, okay, so this is sort of going to be a public service announcement for Stadium Headliner. If you have the card, it deals damage when you sacrifice it equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature. You need another creature to deal 1 point of damage. If you want to do 2 points of damage, you need 3 creatures total, because you're going to lose the headliner. Once you lose the headliner, it doesn't count for that damage. Okay? I don't know how many times people are going to mess that up. We're very early into the release of the expansion. I have seen people incapable of doing that math a lot already. I haven't seen them scoop immediately because of it. Allow me to enjoy being my evil self right now. Discard was around since the very beginning of the game. Mill came around a little bit later. It's now more than 30 years that milling has been around. The head designer of Magic, Mark Rosewater, likes mill cards, so he usually makes sure to design 1 or 2 mill cards each set. There are periods of time where mill is more powerful than others. They don't want to keep... Nobody really wants to keep mill around to the point that it's always uber powerful. A game that's constantly has just this irresistible milling capability that nobody can get around. So they design their sets differently, and they design their mill cards differently each time. And sometimes mill will seem weaker than it has at other stages. What I usually do is take that as a challenge to craft a new... I really like discard, but I will purposefully stay away from discard for a long time. I think I mentioned it's been... Before I got to this Kaizen Evil series and made a new discard deck, it's been about 8 months since I published another previous discard deck. I won't stay away from mill as long because they've designed different mill cards. With discard's a one-note wonder. You know, it's what's happening with your discard strategy. With mill, you know, they've got different cards designed in different ways each time. So it's still mill, but it's still kind of like this fascinating alternate win strategy that you have to consider. You have to think about how you're going to implement it. And we missed a land drop. So land flooding, land drop, we've already got it in the space of 4 matches. There are a number of cards that the combinations have proven so powerful that I've only aired them once in one video, and then I don't use the card again. Or creature cards that I really like. Are you serious? Arena. One land in 5 turns? That is messed up. My opponent does not miss a land drop. I guess if I don't get a land, I just discard the Mindbreaker as a regular discard. My opponent's doing a better job at milling them out than I am. Maybe they'll just mill themselves out. It's my new strategy. You just keep discarding and drawing through your deck. I'll just wait. No, that's a land. I guess I gotta use it. He's gonna get bigger and bigger. How cheap are the spells? Two. Does not miss a land drop. Now, do they have a counterspell? Let's find out, shall we? Two for one special. They're blue, so you got to give them extra time to think. Do you have another unsummon? No, okay, so they do lose one creature out of that. We're kind of containing the damage for now. Opponent does not miss a land drop. That's a big creature. Burst Lightning. Yeah, this deck has a lot of cheap cards. Opponent does not miss a land drop. I could have had my Teresian Mindbreaker out by now. Yeah, there's just not much hope for us if we can't. We're not getting any of our discard draw spells. We're not getting our lands. Yeah, give me the most expensive card instead. Yeah, we're not winning this. I mean, I guess I could try and Aetherize later. Opponent does not miss a land drop. Does not bother casting any cards. This deck usually has a couple of counter spells. Look how easy that is for them to just get everything back. Ta-da! Did you miss me? And we are still not getting anything that we need. 3, 4, 5. I don't even have enough to cast all my spells that might help. Ten lands from the opponent. Ten lands versus 5. That's fair, Magic. Okay, so, as with any other deck, Mill is no exception. If they give you 10 or 11 lands, then you're going to lose. If they refuse to give you any lands, you're also going to lose. Land starvation works as a way for Arena to make sure that your win ratio never goes over 50%. You notice in the matches where we actually drew lands, we won. But where we didn't flood out. It's that nice little range in the middle, that Goldilocks range. That's what we want. We want the shuffler to deal us a nice variety. We're kind of back to the old days where they're giving us the most expensive card in the deck up front. We do have ways to discard this in the deck, just a couple, so that's not necessarily the worst thing that can happen to us. About 3 different ways to remove us. And Streets of New Capenna rules, they've already got 3 colors on their second turn. And, you know, why not? A lot of times I'll be a lot more patient than this, but they're going to have so much removal. Ooh. They don't have all 3 at the same time, though. What the heck is that? And why are you afraid to attack with the Helpful Hunter? What am I going to do? Block and lose my 10-1? Yeah, go ahead and attack. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I missed a land drop. So we'll just mill him for 20 cards at once. What do we got left? 28? It's possible. This is kind of tough on us with the toughness of 4. One more untapped land would be good. There we go. In the meantime, if I just go and attack now, and I have it gain double strike, were they smart enough to hold on to a removal card until this second? There we go. Yes, they were. That's gross. There's a nice little combo right there. I think we have to just skip because we missed a land drop, so we're stuck with Aetherize. Mardu, so they're gonna cause this ability to trigger extra, and cause this ability to trigger extra. Let's resolve all that. Everybody go back. Thank you very much. None of this matters if I don't get any more land. I got a piece of land. I still feel like I'm lost. They've already got their combo. They just need to get it out again. My life is so low. See, they say they're a little kitty. Alright. Away with you. That's a big spell to get rid of a 0/4. Bring this puppy out again. I want to get rid of him now. Nope. No spells during his turn. That's not good. That lobotomizes my Cryptomancer. How many is that going to make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they're going to kill me. So, no choice. All that mobilize just creates too much stuff. I mean, maybe I feel good that I took out 3 creatures with 1 spell. But I'm kind of running out of ammo now. And this is an ever-present threat. +3 in haste. There you go again, red. So I take 2 here, and then 2 more here, right? Down to 3. Get rid of my last version of damage that I have. That's devastating. And there we go. I don't think there's anything I can do about this. Because this is going to be +3 in haste. And they kill me with 1 more point by just bringing down any other creature in the rest of their deck. In the meantime, I was stuck with this expensive card that I was never allowed to cast. And my flashback I couldn't afford. Why would they do that? Jeskai this time. Ah, create a red goblin creature token. Oh, never mind. I'm dead right here. They had, like, at least 2 different ways to kill me. Yeah, I may be playing this particular type of strategy at the wrong time when Tarkir just came out. You're seeing a lot of good combos already. finally got a bit of reunion. I haven't really found a card I want to discard just yet, though. Yeah, there is. We can get ready to discard that one. Another Roiling Dragonstorm for just one, so already getting cheaper. Lots of card draw for them. They have something other than a land that they need to discard now? They're blue. You got to give them extra time. There we go. Oh, just another land anyway. Okay. Let's help them with their drawing and discarding, shall we? Three colors. Only took till turn 4. Not too shabby. Everything's a dragon. Alright, since everything's a dragon, those are going back into the hand. They get to draw and discard for a very cheap price. Get rid of their duplicate ley lines. That all makes sense. Let's do this. I just need a Mind Skinner now. This is a nice little enchantment, right? Because I don't really have a way to intercept this. They've already got it set up so they get 2 2/2s every single turn. And they get their pick of spells to draw and discard every turn with the Dragonstorm. So they've already got their machinery going. Didn't take them very long either. Gonna do anything? Seriously? If they're not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna do anything. We'll take another island. Done. It's a lot of enchantments. Ooh, green in there too. And it doesn't say you may. It just says they have to return it. So if they are afraid of milling themselves out, they're going to have to discard those. If they keep bringing them down, it's going to be a lot of draw and discard. Okay, they're tapped out. That's good. Alright. Bitterweed. Discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Play this. Attack for 6. Mill half their deck. They shouldn't want to block. $15 cards left. And they still want to draw and discard. There's another dragon. Dragon artifact. Makes their dragons come in bigger and tougher. That's a good card for me. Ravnica, that's a good card for me. I like everything I'm seeing. Pass the turn. 5 cards left to draw. Destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Okay. They want to get rid of my Realm Breaker. That means 5 more regular turns of draw that I have to survive. What are they doing? They discarded Running Dragonstorm. Okay. 3 cards. Return those to your hand. Okay, they're finally done with that. Scorching shot for you. What else do we want to do here? I think this. Let's just give them a nice juicy target. Because we can do this. And if they don't do anything about it, we can then play Invasion of Ravnica and maybe translate it. 5 damage. No. That's a sorcery. Can you do something at instant to stop the hexproof? This gets shuffled back into their deck, though. And we're waiting. Okay, so we got hexproof. This doesn't get shuffled in if it's... Yeah, because it fizzled. So that's a really good play on our part. If it managed to get in there, it would have, because of the new Omen thing, this isn't quite the same as adventure spells. Okay, there are 3 3s now, thanks to the Dragonstorm Globe. They better not play Rolling Dragonstorm again. They've got 2 turns to kill us. 5, 10. So what if I attack? This is 2 colors exactly, so I can't stop that. What if I just attack with this here real quick, just to distract them? This will give them another blocker. Do they want a chump block? They're going to do both. Okay. This is when I use bulk up and I double my power, so we survive. They lose everything. I don't have another card to discard here, so I can't use Bitter Reunion. They get 1 more draw after this. Dragon Storm. You can play the Teeming Dragon Storm. Remove all counters from up to 1 target creature. Aww. And it's got Ward 2. Okay. Do I discard that? Let's discard that. Okay. 3, 4. Okay, so we'll just play the regular spell. How did he get 2 cards in there? Was that an omen that he just caught? Was that an omen spell? Again, I'm checking. Dragon Storm. Can I get rid? Do they have a double land? No, they have all basics, right? So now they have blockers. Now they have extra blockers. They can fly over my head and hit me. And they still have 1 card draw. I done messed up. I was supposed to sacrifice this and let this one attack too. Last turn. A land? Are you serious? I don't have anything else that I can do there, do I? I've got this. And that's countered, and it goes back. The Omen cards defeat my mill strategy. Out of everything that they drew, they had just exactly what they needed to beat me. Lots of good combos with this new set. I like it. I can't even be mad. He let me win on purpose. Oh, what a dude. He held on to an extra... He held on to an extra Roiling Dragonstorm this whole time? That's so nice. That's some good sportsmanship right there. Oh, look, we got a Master Cube and everything. He probably took pity on me. He knew I was coming at him. Once he knew I was coming at him with a mill deck, and he had omen cards. It's like we are definitely in an anti-mill environment now. If you ever thought that we were in a weakened mill environment before, omen's a very nice antidote to mill. This is also another reason why you don't scoop early. There's a lot of really good sports. Like if I've got my 15 wins for the day, I'll go ahead and I'll beat somebody to the end, and then I'll just scoop and let them have the win just like he did. So, you know, you never know if people are sometimes, maybe they just got an achievement and they're happy. Maybe they just really enjoyed the match. It was a really tough match. You weren't sure who was going to win up until the very end. And they just give it to you. So, ever since the titles came out, the new achievement track record stuff, I've been on a constant messaging to say, hey, don't scoop early, stay in, do your full matches. If they've got overwhelming against you, go ahead and let them come in and smack you down for the final hit anyway. It might be that they're trying to get a certain specific achievement, and we can help each other do that and build up our titles faster together as a community. But also sometimes they're just like that, and it's very, very friendly. It's like, hey, you know what, I got you beat. That once earlier. Okay, that'll still come in. No, that will come in untapped, won't it? Maybe I just played this game too long. Like the computer's giving up. Okay, now I can keep the Aetherize, or let's see, two colors, two colors. Invasion of Ravnica is useless against these. I could play the dragon. Let's try the dragon. Opponent does not miss a land drop. Look at that. Attacks only enough to take out the dragon. It's a fair trade. I would have felt better if I hadn't gotten both of my 7 drops. That's 2 out of 3. Do not deal me the third one, please. Look at them go. Okay, their guys have haste too. I'm just doing that because they're tapped out. I don't have to worry about counter spells. But haste and a couple of the 1 or 2 drop spells, and they're right back up there. Two colors again. Invasion of Ravnica is useless. Thank you, Arena. And they use it to refill their hand. Very nice. That is 6. I guess we could do this and get rid of one of these. It's leaving us very open and vulnerable. But I don't have much left to work with here anyway, so I've basically given up. Auto decks are usually very quick anyway. They're just completely unafraid of giving me anything. Like, here, you want extra cards? Take extra cards, whatever. I did mention the otters have very cheap cost, right? 1 and 2 drops. And they have their own Twinferno. I should have known that Arena would match you up with somebody else using Twinferno. Yeah, I think there are some decks that we will never be a match for. And if they're getting out the quick otter decks or anything quick, really, mill takes a little bit of time. I could have put other cards in here that would have been more deadly, like Jace. But I feel like we've seen that enough. So I wanted to have a different mix. Current environment. Okay, there's half my removal in my deck. And it looks like we're going to need it. Oh no, they didn't put anything out. Well, we've got extra time then. Yeah, extra time, extra time. Aww. They get a hit in. It's okay. We bought some time. Now it's our turn. Let's give them a chance to respond. Okay, so they do have removal. In a way. That's a lot of land. Easy come, easy go. 3 bulk ups. Nothing like a little variety. A magic. That's gonna be a pain. Land floods, okay. Good for them now that they have a landfall card. Now, no matter what they draw, it's going to be useful. They'll either get a creature or they... Oh, thank you, Arena. Yes, we were meant to win this one, that's for sure. Give me 1 creature and all they need is a single remove card for the entire thing. And then give me 4 bulk ups. Alright, 43. I guess I should have gotten rid of one of these. We mill them for 20. And that's precisely lethal. Oh, never mind. It's even more than lethal. Notice they drew just enough land to do what they needed to do, and then they stopped drawing land, whereas we drew extra land. Alright, my conspiracy theories are up in arms. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. We've had my computer freeze on me twice, and now my second monitor is blinking at me. Maybe some nefarious country is hacking me. I don't know. Frogs? Frogs it is. Look at him go. Land ramp, creatures every turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pass. We'll just ditch you now. It'd be nice if I get one more land somewhere along here. Alright. We mill them for 10. And since we missed the land drop, we have to do this. Do they have an unsummon? They have a spell pierce. Okay. Let's see. We'll get rid of the creatures, I guess. Ouch. So all we can do is attack because we missed a land drop, and we have to hope Aetherize is enough. They're kind of doing our job for us. They're all tapped out. We only have one copy of Aetherize in the entire deck. Bulk up. Mill for 20. That should be game. And you know, we had land problems too. I didn't expect them to play that way though. Alright, I think we've demonstrated the deck enough. It's not something you take into ranked. If somebody gets like an on-curve mythic rare, like a 3-turn planeswalker or a 4-turn legendary creature, this deck is not really equipped to handle a lot of that. There's not too much in the way of interaction, right? You got 4 Brothers Ends, you got 1 Temporal Firestorm, and maybe if they're not 2 colors, you got 1 Invasion of Ravnica that can come along later, and the 1 Scorching Shot, right? Tectonic Hazard for the 1-drops and for a 2-drop. That's not... Usually you have a little bit more removal in that for the current environment, especially since we got Tark here coming out with all of the wide Mobilize 1 type things. You know, the deck does work. You've seen it work. I like it. I think it's slightly less evil than Discard, right? Discard has a longer lineage. But there's still a room to say that mill is evil, because there are some people that absolutely detest mill decks, and they just get really frustrated, especially if you get a constant mill position on the going, and either you're milling away their lands when they need lands, or they're only getting lands and you're milling away their spells when they need spells. I remember going up against the rogue mill deck, and that happened to me constantly. It was extremely frustrating. So I think the level of frustration definitely qualifies this as being an evil strategy, and belonging down at those lower ladder rungs that we're still climbing out of the depths of evil for. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you agree, if mill belongs down here right near Discard as far as the evil decks are concerned. And go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and we'll have something different for you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.